Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. Today we're going to talk about CRISPR Therapeutics as they have reported their earnings. I'm your host Raj. Let's get started. Welcome back. CRISPR Therapeutics reported significant achievements in 2023. Highlights being the approval of Casgevy in various regions. Other achievements include advancement in CAR T-cell programs and progress in vivo gene editing initiatives. Financially, the company strengthened its position through a registered direct offering with a current cash position exceeding $2.1 billion approximately on their balance sheet. Surprisingly, the equity dilution did not impact the share price as one would have expected. And here's an overview of the key highlights from the earnings reports. First one is the Casgevy approval and launch. So Casgevy got approved in United States, European Union, Great Britain, Bahrain, and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for treating sickle cell disease and transfusion-dependent beta thalassemia or TDT. Ongoing regulatory submissions for Casgevy in Switzerland with plans for submission in Canada in first half of 2024 is in the works. Vertex, in collaboration with CRISPR, actively launching Casgevy in the US and making progress in the European Union and Saudi Arabia is another piece of news that we got. Next generation CAR T programs have clinical trials underway for CTX112 and CTX131, targeting CD19 and CD70 respectively. Positive pharmacological data suggests that potential superiority of CTX112 and CTX131 in CAR T cell expansion and persistence is a very welcome news. And they are planning clinical trial for CTX112 for systematic lupus in H1 2024. In vivo editing programs consisting of CTX310 and CTX320 targeting ANGPTL3 and LPA for cardiovascular disease is also ongoing. I made a video on that recently. And ongoing phase 1 clinical trial for both these programs is demonstrating the potential of one-time therapies. And when we talk about diabetes, advancing phase 1 clinical trial for CTX211 for the treatment of type 1 diabetes is on way without requiring chronic immunosuppressions. The therapy is able to treat type 1 diabetics. Now let's look at the financial highlights. Cash and cash equivalents and marketable securities were $1,695.7 million as of December 31, 2023, with cash exceeding $2.1 billion as of February 21, 2024, which is very recent. And R&D expenses for Q4 2023 was $95.1 million, a decrease from Q4 2022, primarily due to reduced external research and manufacturing costs. General and administrative expenses for Q4 2023 were $16.5 million, showing a decrease from Q4 2022. And net income for Q4 2023 was $89.3 million, a significant improvement from a net loss of $110.6 million in Q4 2022. And here are my thoughts based on what we have seen so far in the earnings report. I think CRISPR Therapeutics shows substantial revenue growth with a significant year-over-year increase. However, the company is currently operating at a loss, leading to negative profit margins and negative returns on assets and equity. The long-term picture is looking great, and long-term holders can literally see themselves entering the light at the end of the tunnel to see bright sunlight outside. Now here are the performance numbers derived from the original data contained in Yahoo Finance for CRSP. I'll walk you through it. I have plenty of data out here, but that's not as important as some of the points that I wanted to make here. The valuation measures, especially the high PE ratio, indicate that the stock might be considered overvalued by traditional valuation metrics. But I think this is forward pricing, and we are going to see a lot of revenue coming from Casgevy. That is what is being reflected here, and it's going to normalize over a period of time. The negative enterprise value that you see here, enterprise value by EBITDA, minus 26.96 is very, very unusual. And in this case, it is happening because they have significant amount of cash balance in the balance sheet. So that's the other thing that I wanted to point out. The strong current ratio and also the debt equity ratio that we are seeing. The current ratio is 17.54, and the debt equity ratio that we are seeing out here which is 12.67%, are indicative of a healthy balance sheet with ample liquidity to cover short-term obligations. And the company has a substantial amount of cash, providing financial flexibility. The quarterly revenue growth made me do a double take. If you look at the number here, the quarterly revenue growth, I double checked it on Yahoo Finance. And this is basically because of the cash JV, numbers. And with sudden strong performance such as this, the market must respond. We will see a little bit of volatility for price discovery before a floor is identified. And after that, we will be driven partly by cash JV revenue and profitability, and in part by progress of pipeline items and news of new partnerships and milestone payments. I would think of this stock as a salted caramel ice cream, where occasionally you get a salt crystal that boosts the flavor and changes the dynamic. Those salt crystals will be the milestone payments and new alliances that CRISPR may tie up for any of its pipeline candidates. We did not get any adverse news about the allogeneic CTX112 CAR-T therapy that targets CD19 with regard to FDA oversight on clinical trials, given the black box labels for all autologous CD19 CAR-T therapies so far. I would consider that to be good news. I think I would request Sandeep to do financial analysis on this company later on when he gets some time. Overall, I think CRISPR Therapeutics is a blue chip in the making. Please let me have your thoughts, and please do not hesitate to press like and subscribe because it helps the channel a lot. And thanks for watching, and have a great day and a great weekend. I'll catch up with you again in the next video. Bye for now.